Hello, welcome to week 8 of the BPL's Bishop Division's Pokemon Draft League, season 11. Like I said, I've pretty much given up on spouting all of those details off in the correct sequence at the start of these. But, yeah, here's our team again. As you know, we got Stuff, and our opponent this week is Queen of Roses. Their team is fucking horrifying. It is probably the worst matchup we have run into. It's really while prepping for this team, I was really like threatened by this rock paper scissors of, is it Battle Bell and Greninja or is it Protean Greninja? Do they bring Petulant, Zapdos, or Clefable? Like whichever one they bring, they have to be wary. That is it like unaware Clefable? Is it Magic Guard? So like I need Toxapex if it's unaware, which would work great for Defiant Bisharp, I think, maybe, probably. I'm not super sure. I don't remember the calcs, but I just knew that it would be able to handle things for the most part, and it had fighting coverage to hit it, so it was like... But I knew Gastrodon was coming. Gastrodon's free here. I have a rain team. Kartana is Kartana. This thing is a monster. It can Terra. I also have Dunsparce, which I kind of anticipated coming. It was like a thought in the back of my mind, but I wasn't 100% sure. But I did expect them to bring some combination of Petulant, Zapdos, and or Clefable. I had a inkling that Mega Garchomp was coming because it's Mega Garchomp. And I was really worried about Dragon Dance Mega Garchomp, which turns out that doesn't exist. But it's whatever. I know it has Scale Shot. I know it had Swords Dance, so I was scared about both equally. And then Dragon Dance was another thing on top of those. But regardless, I was mostly scared of Kartana and Sweeper Mega Garchomp going into this, and like Greninja obviously too. But it felt like such a, what do you not bring here of these 7, right? Because it's like ugh. And my prep name was a little based around what I wanted to see and what I didn't want to see. We have a kind of type of Trapper Toxapex to infestation things so they can't switch out and get some chip on them, like Kartana, for example. This matches up really well into Kartana that isn't, like, banded. Like, I expect Scarf because I outspeed it so hard. And we have Hitmontop here with Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards. Now, you might be wondering, why would I run Hitmontop when there's Petulant that exists? And it's because I have hella coverage for Petulant. Like, this T-Bolt should be doing a ton, unless especially defensive invested. And, like, I have Lando, which is, like, theoretically should be free damage every time Lando gets in. With Scarf, and I have Specs Zeraora for maximum firepower with Terra Electric. Like, this thing is gonna hit hard with electric attacks. And then we have Cornerstone Ogerpon down here with Spikes, Hornleech, and Synthesis. I was really excited to use this because it switches in on Gastrodon, is able to take 2 Ice Beams, and like it sets up Spikes for free, right? While threatening, you'd never want to keep Gastrodon in on that, right? So I get to set up Spikes, I get to heal up, I get to always switch in on the Gastrodon unless they get cocky against the Gastrodon, and then I just decide to Hornleech their Gastrodon, and then they lose Gastrodon, but they still have 2 ground types, so I need to clear up those before Zeraora can really do any damage. We have Weakness Policy Chameleos, which in hindsight probably should have had, whatchamacallit, Agility, just to boost its speed, but it's fine. I like Draining Kiss, and I like Luring Voice, although I was mainly really scared about Sub Kartana, which is why I went Alluring Voice over Moonblast. And I knew I could take a hit from Scarf to Smart Strike once. I'd be fine. Like, my strategy's a little gimmicky here, especially with, like, no agility on this. But I think it's fine overall. The one thing I'm a little iffy on is, like, Rapid Spin on Hitmontop, because as it was getting closer and closer to this, I realized, like, I don't really have much to threaten Petulant. It's kind of a free switch every time. So I guess I should have had Baton Pass, but then I wouldn't have had Triple Axle or Close Combat to threaten other things. And Triple Axle is obviously for Garchomp. Intimidate also might have been nice, but who gives a shit? Let's get into the game, because this is such a do-or-die moment. We are currently 4-4. Or no, 4-3, and this is week 8. We are currently 4-3, and we are at +4 differential. So we need to, if we win this game, we're basically secured playoffs. But if we lose this game, we need to like make sure we don't lose too hardly, because if we do, we like, it becomes really, really unlikely that even if I win my next week game, I would make it into playoffs to begin with. But like, here's the matchup. No Clefable. Was expecting Clefable. Didn't see it. Very unfortunate. I am praying that this thing is not Battle Bond, or well, I was prepared for Battle Bond, with the Mach Punch Hitmontop, but I was praying that this thing wasn't Nasty Plot Protean, because that would have destroyed my whole team. And yeah, like it looks almost exactly like I expected it to, besides Clefable. So let's get right into it. This music's gonna play and blast my ears real quick. Oh my god. They lead Greninja, which is basically exactly what I expected them to lead. My theories of this are it's either Scarfed with Battle Bond or some nonsense, Scarfed with Protean, or it's Nasty Plot Protean, which is the worst case scenario for my team. Doesn't necessarily have to be. There's so many different sets this thing could run against me, but I'm pretty confident that my Enamorus takes a single hit, and I kind of make a little risky play, like assuming they're going to hit me as hard as they can straight off the bat. For the record, they went Terra Grass Kartana, did not bring Dunsparce. I went Terra Ice with Terra Blast on my Lando to hit both Garchomp, Zapdos, and just like Kartana and Pecharunt for neutral. Most of the members of their team for neutral. And then I think I already said Terra Electric for Zeraora, but that's about all the schniz out of the way. I go for Draining Kiss right off the bat. They go for U-Turn. I figured U-Turn would be like something they'd click here, but it is what it is. At this point, I'm expecting Scarf on Greninja. I switch out into Ogerpon because that is the plan. I take 2 Ice Beams for free, and I get Frozen turn 2. But then I stay frozen. So I switch out to Toxapex because I'm like, I'm going to Infestation you. And they click Nasty Plot, which is like, oh shit. So I get into Lando to minimize any damage I'm about to take. I'm Scarfed. I want to kill this thing ASAP just in case it gets bold and decides to switch in. Honestly, I don't know why I thought it would. They double out into Greninja, expecting a Terra Ice. Unfortunately, I am Scarfed. So I had no reason to do that at that point in time. Oh my god, would it have not been fantastic had I just clicked Earth Power again? That would have been awesome. But I went into Zeraora, which is about the next best thing, because that's my dedicated Zapdos answer. And they went into Pecharunt. I was hoping they went into Garchomp, predicting like a Volt Switch, but alas, they played it safe and went into Pecharunt. So I went back into Lando because I'm like I don't know what this thing's about to do. Fortunately, I don't get poisoned, so I'm like, all right. I'm gonna click Earth Power again. I got a nice 34 off and immediately realize I need to get the hell out of here. Go back into Ogerpon because I always take another Ice Beam. They recover, which makes sense, and get a Stealth Rocks off. I am still frozen, which really fucking sucks. And they switch out because it's like, what else am I gonna do? They click Nasty Plot, and at this point I'm like, this Pecharunt needs to die. I'm clicking T-Bolt. I didn't Terra Electric. Should I have? Maybe. It still wouldn't have killed. I get Toxic, and that's basically the end of my Zeraora because I can't switch it out, and I die to Toxic, and I die to Confusion. So it is what it is. Zeraora's down. I switch in Ogerpon. I still take an Ice Beam. I'm like, I need to thaw out this turn, and I don't. So they click what I thought was going to be Scarfed Kartana, and I didn't even realize it was not Scarfed Kartana at this point, because I was tilted from not thawing out. And yeah, especially because like this is a really do or die situation for me. They crit the Leaf Blade, which absolutely did not fucking matter. They're not Life Orb, and they get an attack boost, which should have told me, oh, this thing is banded. I should have expected it to have been Choice to begin with. I was going under the assumption that it was Scarfed, and even though it wasn't Scarfed, I still should have gone with an Amorous because that's the only thing on my team that resists grass. So this was a misplay. I knew. Well, excuse me. I'm thinking of the game with Dragapult. I didn't know anything. I got obliterated by Leaf Blade and immediately realized, like, oh shit, I need to throw in Lando. I threw in Lando, got an Earth Power off, and as you can see, I've basically conceded at this point. There is nothing I can do at this point. If I switch Lando out, it's dead to rocks. If I keep Lando in, it doesn't die to anything besides, like, Zapdos misplaying, which I could have stuck around and PP stalled the thing out, but I decided not to, for the sake of the integrity of the match. Probably should have, in hindsight. Might have gotten myself an extra kill or something. I used Draining Kiss because it doesn't really matter. Moonblast wouldn't have killed anyways. I would have needed a Springtide Storm, I think, to have killed there. And that's the ball game. If I had clicked Moonblast or Alluring Voice or whatever, I could have, like, forced a Volt Switch or a U-turn or something to at least, like, make it so that this thing doesn't... I don't know. It would have been, like, a different situation. But a 5-0 loss is really, really rough. Because, yeah, I should have probably just spammed Protect at the end there, but it is what it is, you know? Like, there's only so much you can do when, like, the main factor of your strategy gets frozen on turn 2. Like, I was supposed to... That Ogerpon was supposed to win me the game, and it just got immobilized completely. So it really sucks, but that is how it is. We are now 4-4 with a -1 differential. We lost 5 points for that, which is just devastating, because now 4-4 at -1, I would need to win my next set. I did some calculations during week 9, and I determined that if I won my week 9 match, it would need to be at least 3-0, like no more, like no less. Like 3-0 was the bare minimum I needed to win by in order to make playoffs. Provided, like, not everything went my way, right? Like, I would have to still win the match and not need to worry about my differential. Like, 3 matches would have needed to go in the way I wanted them to. But yeah, it doesn't look good. We're in a tough position. Our next matchup is fortunately in our favor. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. This is Thursday, 25th. I will not be uploading another video until... I won't be uploading another video until next week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or something. Just because, like, I can't post the finale because I'm, like, busy, right? It'll be the final match of the season, and depending on win or lose with the certain conditions, it'll either be my last match or it'll be something great. Who knows? But that's all for the day. Should I have brought Bisharp? Probably. Did I? No. And that's that. So, is what it is. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.